Hello YouTube, I'm really glad you decided to tune in today. I'm Randy, you're watching Graveyard Legends and Lore, and today I'm in Detroit Memorial Park Cemetery to visit Florence Ballard. Stay tuned. So once upon a time, in a faraway land called Detroit, a little girl with a God-gifted voice of an angel from the Brewster Projects had a dream. Little did she know that a lot of it would turn into a nightmare. Florence Glenda Chapman, also known as Florence Ballard. You may remember her from the Primettes. You may remember her from the Supremes. She's laid to rest here in Detroit Memorial Park Cemetery at 13 Mile and Ryan in Warren, Michigan. They've made movies, they've written books, there's been interviews, podcasts. What an incredible story she has. Raped at 16 years old. Founded the Primettes with her friend Mary Wilson, who she went to school with, a neighbor in the Brewster Projects. Mary knew a girl named Diane. She sang in church with Diane. And eventually, Florence and Mary and Diane became the Supremes, signed with Motown. It's Barry Gordy. It wasn't all Florence thought it was going to be. So now Florence started out as the lead singer. Motown was unable to get Florence to chart. And with songs like Buttered Popcorn, I could see why. So eventually they moved Florence to the back, started promoting Diane, subsequently had an affair with Barry Gordy. Detroit Memorial Park Cemetery was organized in 1925 to serve the rapidly expanding post-war Detroit black population. Concerned with the indignities and poor quality of service received by the black community, several distinguished Detroiters established the cemetery to provide reasonably priced and dignified burials. This was the first black-owned and operated business of its kind in the state. Its incorporators included Charles Diggs, a mortician and acknowledged founder, and Dr. Aaron Tootle, a druggist, and first president. By careful management, the cemetery corporation survived the Great Depression and expanded into financial services. Famous inventor Elijah McCoy is buried here, among doctors, lawyers, ministers, teachers, business, civil, and political leaders. Now, I'm not a fan of memorial parks. I don't like the headstones being laid flat on the ground. A lot of times they're covered with debris. Flooded, they sink into the ground. They just don't have the character that a traditional cemetery has. Florence had a really tragic road she walked. Makes for a really sad story. But Florence wasn't just a supreme. Florence was a wife. Florence was a mother. Florence was a friend. It's my understanding that Diana Ross paid for Florence's funeral. Florence laid here over 30 years without even a headstone. Florence didn't get a headstone, from my understanding, until after the movie Dreamgirls. I watched the movie Dreamgirls. I didn't like it. Just another way to use Florence. Someday I'd like to see a movie made about the Supremes. It's actually about the Supremes. I'd like to see a movie actually about Florence. I'd like it to be true to history. I think that would be a much better story, and it would make a much better movie. So here I am, a little north of Detroit. It's cloudy and cold. Gloomy day. Fitting day to stop by and visit Florence. Florence went by a couple names. Florence was also known as Blondie. She was also called Flo. Loved by many. Remembered by many. Florence Chapman, beloved wife and mother, June 30th. In the year 1943 she was born. February 22nd, 1976, her final day on earth. So here, resting in peace in Detroit Memorial Park Cemetery, is Florence Glenda Chapman, also known as Florence Ballard, the founding member of the Supremes. I would like to talk for a minute just about Florence's death. Passed away from a heart attack caused by a blood clot. What a very sad story. She lost her house. Seems like every time Florence turned around, she was being robbed. Whether it was by her husband, whether it was by lawyers, whether it was by Motown. Such a tragic story. A woman who should have been on top of the world. Sadly, seems like it was all taken from her. And she was laid to rest here, almost forgotten. Wow. So, on this Sunday afternoon, I'm really glad that I got to visit Florence. I'm really glad that you decided to take the time to watch this video. I've been visiting Florence here quite often over the last few months, studying her story. Sometimes it's really just hard to know what to say. I know when I was young, anytime I would drive by the cemetery with my mother, she would tell me, "Florence Ballard's buried in there." I must have heard it over 20 times, probably more. So I'm really glad I finally got the chance to find Florence here. Flo, Blondie Ballard. Definitely my favorite Supreme. Well, this has been Randy here at Graveyard Legends and Lore. If you like this video, do me a favor and hit that like button. Smash that thumb. Make sure you don't forget to subscribe, because I'm going to be back again real soon with another video. If you didn't like the video, hit the subscribe button anyway. You never know. I may do a video in the future that you do like, and I'd hate for you to miss it. Alright, it's been Randy, signing out. Y'all take care.